The founder of Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk, had a little bit of a heated shouting match with Young Turks founder Cenk Uygur during Politicon. So, looked a little bit triggered. Now, Kirk was facing off against Hassan Piker in a debate on whether young people should be conservative or liberal. Now, towards the end of the event, of course, Kirk talked about the salary. Like, oh, how much do you make? Well, how much do you make? When it came to a discussion of socialism in the United States. And actually, it's more of democratic socialism or social democracy, things like Medicare for all, free college I should say tuition-free college at public universities and colleges, things like that. Things that other modern industrial nations actually already do. So, nonetheless, Charlie Kirk is going to say, oh no, this is socialism, you're advocating for socialism, therefore you should give up 95% of what you own. He actually said this during the debate. But first, of course, had to ask, how much do you make? Well, okay, look, fair question, right? As long as you can ask how much Charlie Kirk makes. And when asked, of course, he flipped out. Let's take a look at that video.
Hey, you're trying to attack me, which is ridiculous, like asking me what my salary is. Sure, I'll reveal it willingly.
You brought it up in context. I'm asking, why don't you live like a socialist?
Okay.
Go live like a socialist.
The point is larger. The point is larger than that, Charlie.
I live like a capitalist every single day, Cenk.
Guys.
I live as a capitalist, okay?
Hey.
I live when I believe.
No.
What do? I get charity every single year.
Hold on.
What's my salary? Less than his.
Charlie, take a seat.
Come on, Cenk, let's go.
Charlie, what are you doing? Take a seat. Take a seat.
Psycho?
All right, no. Take a seat. You're going to take a seat. You're going to take a seat over here.
Oh, my God.
What's my salary?
All right.
Oh, ridiculous.
All right, behave, everyone. Jesus Christ. Okay.
I practice what I preach, Cenk.
Charlie.
You do not practice what you preach.
Charlie.
I believe somebody has been triggered. Normal people don't act like that. Okay, so let me just kind of break this down, right? I live like a capitalist every day, Jake. I give to charity. Okay, and you want a fucking cookie? Yeah, some people give to charity. Guess what that is? It's a tax write-off. Not to say that giving to charity is a bad thing, but okay, well, how much? How much do you give to charity? What do you make? It's a perfectly legitimate question. If you're saying, I practice what I preach, I'm living like a capitalist. Well, what does that even mean? What does living like a capitalist mean? That you go out and buy a bunch of shit? Well, then we all live as capitalists. Because we're in a capitalistic system. But, no, furthermore, he said, you do not practice what you preach. Okay, well, look, I could go and I could show you a ton of examples of Cenk Uygur saying, oh no, I'm a capitalist, I'm a small business owner. Because that's what he literally is, and that's what he literally says. And he's gotten a lot of pushback for that, by the way, by TYT viewers and actual socialists that say, Cenk's not a socialist, he's a capitalist. He says so all the frickin' time. So it's ridiculous, but it's what Charlie Kirk does, right? It's what people from Turning Point USA do. They basically lie. And then when somebody calls them out, they freak out. Like, this was a meltdown. Now look, how much does Hassan make? Apparently, according to Washington Examiner, he makes about $60,000 a year in LA. So, you want to talk about Charlie Kirk having less money, making less money from Turning Point USA than somebody at TYT. That is a complete absurdity. $60,000 a year in LA is not a lot of money. I mean, look, there are ways that you can live on it, but usually that involves getting a roommate or two, or living very, very cheaply, living close to work, etc. It's not a lot of money. So this whole idea, like, oh my God, TYT's got so much money, and they, these hosts make so much money from it. is ridiculous. It's incredibly expensive to live in LA, especially in Culver City. So I'm just saying, it's kind of a ridiculous thing. And whereas Charlie Kirk, I don't know how much money he makes, but I'm assuming it's a lot, because what Turning Point USA is it's basically a propaganda arm for very, very wealthy corporations and very, very wealthy people. For example, the Koch brothers. Now, of course, on the other side, they're like, oh, no, but Soros funds TYT. Soros funds all these left-wing channels. Oh, I can guarantee you, I've been waiting for a Soros check for about 5 years. I haven't gotten one. I don't know when it's going to get here. Maybe it's been delayed in the mail again. But I'm not getting any Soros checks. I'm not getting any Haim Saban checks. I'm not getting anything like that. Most of us aren't. So this whole thing is basically projection. Okay? And look, here's the thing. These same people are the ones that call themselves intellectuals. Well, you just saw what he did. Does that look like an intellectual? He flipped out and tried arguing with somebody in the audience, with Jank in the audience. It's ridiculous. Now, on Twitter, Jank clarified basically what he said that triggered Kirk. He said, I asked him what his salary was. Same question he asked Hassan. I want to know how much it took for the richest people in the country to buy his services. He claims he took a risk to start his organization. How much risk is there to do propaganda for the rich? Oh, that's such a good point. Because, again, there's a lot of money on the right. And, of course, there's a lot of money in the establishment, which is not left. Okay? Soros is not some gigantic leftist. Tom Steyer is not a gigantic leftist. They are more or less establishment. There's not a lot of money in progressivism. And look, there is some. TYT did get some money, that investment money, and you can see that they actually have really good-looking broadcasts. That's what you get from that investment money. If I had a lot of investment money, I could guarantee my show would look a lot better too. And I would have a lot more, I would actually have staff, and I would actually have things that I would be able to do more of. So, but that investment money from the right basically goes into, yes, of course, production, but also goes into paying people to basically spout propaganda. People like Dave Rubin. You know, people like Charlie Kirk. People like Ben Shapiro. All connected in this web of people that get money from these think tanks and giant corporations. So, now, I'm going to get to another quote here from Jank. He said he apparently thought it was a fair question since he asked it, but when I asked him, he flipped out. Why? Because he knows he's an errand boy, and it's possibly embarrassing how much he gets paid to do the bidding of the richest people in the country. No, of course he didn't answer. He gets triggered by that topic because it goes to the core of how fraudulent his organization is. They get paid by the wealthiest people in the country to push for tax cuts and deregulation under the guise of principles. It's corruption defined. So, that's pretty much it. That anger, look, what that was is basically an attempt to not answer that question, to get faux outraged. And that's part of the playbook, to get so outraged and, so angry that you distract people from the question that was actually being asked. How much do you make? How much do you get from your donors? We never answered that question, and he never will answer that question, whereas Hassan Piker did answer that question. In front of his boss, no less. So, look, that means something. One side is being honest about what they're doing. The other side is not being honest because they know they're in the wrong.